Three, two, one. We did it. We are back.
Booyah!
It's Topia.
Woo!
Yeah. I'm
You knew
Anzac,
nothing was going to stop us.
and welcome to the unit. We did this
Thank you.
podcast. Wow, it would have been well over a year ago. We've done
Mm,
2 episodes. We're just trying to hit the ground running,
yeah.
and um, and we just did. You came on Red Hot Underdogs yesterday, and you were just like, you know what?
It was my honor and privilege, sir.
Yeah, and you were like, let's kind of get back into Topia. Um,
Ah,
so
the bug bit me.
we did it for many months and loved it. And because what is Topia about? Tell us, what is this podcast about? A unit?
For me, Topia is just, oh, it's both a very simple and difficult question all in one there.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, Topia, it's everything sci-fi, it's everything fantasy, be it TV, movie, book, comic, scroll on a bathroom wall, um, everything that the imagination run right,
Yeah.
and just embracing everything, all the different aspects of this sort of genre, which
Yep.
to me have always been limitless.
Yep. Yep. And also very organic, not
Oh
something
yeah,
too structured. And
no, definitely not reading from a script or anything like that.
yep. And focusing just a lot on TV and series and movies and
Mm,
stuff that we love. Uh,
yeah.
Funny, even tonight I was at work and my lunch break, dinner break, I started talking about these topics and I just go into it and enjoy it. And I thought I'd kick right off on something. Um, and I
Sounds
wasn't
good to
going to
me.
text you. And then I thought, look, I'm just going to ask you. I thought this would be a good opening, or maybe it will work, maybe it won't. But what have you finished watching? What are you watching, and what are you looking forward to watch? So there you go.
Okay. Okay, that's a great way to kick it off. Recently I've just watched Chaos, TV series on Netflix.
Okay.
Uh, Sort of loosely based on Greek gods, with
Ah,
Jeff Goldblum playing Zeus,
ah,
and
okay.
it's 8 episodes.
Hang on.
Um,
I'm not as good as you with the actor. Jeff Goldblum. So he's the Jurassic Park guy, right?
that's it.
Yeah. Okay. And what he's a god, is he?
Yeah, he's playing Zeus.
Wasn't he a bit of a god in? Well, was he a god in the Marvel scene? You know, like he had his own
Well,
world. Was that?
that
Yeah.
there's some similarities between that character and his Zeus character, because it's
Yeah.
anytime you get Goldblum, you're going to get a good chunk of just pure Goldblum.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, in Thor Ragnarok, he was playing one of the elders of the universe.
Yeah.
Um,
Was he a
uh,
god?
the,
That like was that character a god or?
uh, for us, it'll be pretty much indistinguishable from a god.
Yeah.
Older than the Norse gods in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
One of the one of the oldest beings in the Marvel continuity.
Yep.
And yeah, so here we have Goldblum playing Zeus,
Which
and
is the king of the gods, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
And he starts to spiral without giving really any spoilers or anything. Starts to spiral down this paranoid rabbit hole,
Yeah.
and
We've
yeah,
all
it
been
was.
there. We've all
Oh,
been there. Gods
some
have
of
been
us are
there.
still there.
Men over there. Yeah. We'll be back there in no time.
Some of us make podcasts about being in that rabbit hole, but
Yep. 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 It's a very deep
um,
rabbit hole. That one. It's a very deep rabbit hole. Yeah.
hey,
So
just because you're paranoid doesn't mean there aren't people plotting against you.
so there's Zeus and there's other gods and men
Yeah, we've got Hades,
and Hades.
Poseidon.
Which is Hades the bad one? I kind of know a little bit. Is he the?
Well, he's a lot of the time he's portrayed as a bad guy, whereas Hades in Greek mythology isn't hell; it's just the afterlife.
Yeah.
And Hades rules over that part there. So he's not a bad guy,
Yeah.
but a lot of movies and TV shows like to portray him as a bad guy because I think, oh, he's running the afterlife, so he must be the
Yeah.
bad guy.
Yeah.
The funny thing, the actor playing Hades in this also played Hades in Wonder Woman.
Ah, okay. Wow. Okay. But
Yeah.
a different Hades or a,
Oh, very different
yeah.
Hades.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
But I highly recommend it. Like I said, it's only 8 episodes,
Yep.
and it's a really good bit of fun.
When did you finish it?
I think I was the last week or so.
Yep.
I started the first episode one night, and then got about halfway through that, and then kicked it off the next day and just finished it that day.
And why? Why did you click on this season called series called Chaos? Was it
Um,
somebody or you
and
know?
it popped up during my trawling around IMDb, and I saw. Well, first thing that I saw was Goldblum, so I thought, yeah, I'll have a look at this.
Is it new?
Then I,
Or
yeah,
is it?
it's only just hit within the last month.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Um, was drawn in by Goldblum and Stage when I saw that it was based on Greek mythology,
Yeah,
and watched the trailer, and yeah, it's great production value.
yeah.
And yeah, just yeah, great bit of fun all around.
I'm just trying to think of some movies Goldblum's been in. The what was his breakout movie? The Fly. Back in
Yeah,
he was
that
in
one
Fly number
probably.
one. Yeah, the first. Well, not the first Fly because there was one, you know,
Yeah, that was back in
and
the 50s. I think it was 50s or 60s.
it was color,
Uh,
color.
yeah, in color.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis, who were a couple at the time,
And
and
when was that? What year was the first Fly movie?
like the black and white one.
Not that one.
Oh,
He
for
was,
this
yeah,
one would have been about the mid to late 80s.
yep. And it was horror. It
Oh
was
yeah,
straight horror.
um,
Yeah,
yeah. The the physical effects that they did
yeah,
for Goldblum's gradual transformation into
yeah,
the Fly
yeah,
were
yeah,
just
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah, yeah,
And Goldblum's acting in it as well. He get these sort of little twitchy
yeah.
mannerisms as he became more
Yeah,
fly-like,
very
and
very Fly-like, right?
and he never does anything by halves. He was fully committed to
Yeah,
this.
yep, yep. And
And
he got super strong too. Like
yeah, there's this
he
great
got the
shot
strength.
where he and Gina Davis's character are fighting, and he sort of punches through this wall
Yeah, yeah,
and gets into a fight at this bar or restaurant as well, and just sort of breaks this guy's arm like it was nothing. But yeah, it was a brilliant, and the sequel as well, Fly Two,
yeah,
uh, was brilliant as well.
yep,
No Goldblum, but still tied into the story,
yep.
and that had trying to remember his name now. He was the drug dealer in Pulp Fiction, red-headed kid. He was the first Marty McFly before he was replaced with
Drug dealer in Pulp Fiction. Oh,
yeah, the red-headed dealer. He was in The Mask as well.
yeah, the Jesus looking guy. Is that what?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. They got the in the chest.
yeah. And he's like, and then you stab her in the heart. He's like, what? I stab her 3 times? No, you don't stab her 3 times.
I remember in The Fly, it doesn't matter his name, but unit. I remember um, he was doing little videos, like,
Yes.
and he's like almost he was doing it to kids. He's like, "All right, kids, now although I've got these sharp teeth that I don't even need to use them, I just vomit on the and then I
Yeah,
stand
and
up." And yeah, it was great
and
movie.
one thing I loved with that is we never actually see him vomit and suck it back up, but we see people watching him do it.
Yeah,
Like we see people watching that video,
yeah.
and just the sounds from the video and them, basically throwing up from it. It's like that's all you need.
Yeah.
The imagination does far more than they could have done
Well, you
themselves.
know what? You've said that, and I haven't seen that movie in years. And I actually think I've got memories of seeing it, and all.
Ah,
The only thing I've got is memories of watching people see it and being disgusted.
yeah.
Yeah, so 1985. That was, well, that was the decade of great horrors, wasn't it?
Oh,
Horror
yeah.
movies, and you and I are horror fans. Maybe we even watched
Ah,
the movie together. No, I did watch it with Rich. I know that because we
ah,
we smashed all three of them. We watched the 60s shit one, which
all right.
then we watched or 50s shit one, and then we watched the other two. Um, but that was the best one. Fly number one
Uh,
was
well,
the creepiest and scariest, you know?
yeah, although Fly 2 has some really nasty stuff in it every now and then.
Yeah.
Um, Eric Stoltz was the actor's name. I finally tracked him
Oh yeah.
down there.
What
Uh,
was got, and then he went to Jurassic Park was his, like
yeah.
I guess you'd say Hollywood success.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because he'd been doing a lot of movies that sort of never made it to sort of the big time as such. From memory, he was actually in one of the first Death Wish movies with Charles Bronson.
Uh,
He was one of the gangsters. He
uh,
was one of the gang kids in that. He'd had a few other movies around. The Tall Guy was a great one
yeah.
with Emma Thompson. And one of my favorite ones called Mr. Frost, where uh, Goldblum's character seems to
Not
be this serial killer.
what's the Frost from Blade, that movie? Is it
Oh, Deacon Frost.
Deacon Blade? That's what I was going to
Yeah,
say. I second guessed myself. I was
yeah,
going to say not Deacon Frost from Blade, but I didn't. And then I had that one, and I just fucked.
yeah. You had it, man.
I know. Anyway,
So yeah, he's playing the serial killer, and he gets sent to this psychiatric facility
yeah,
to basically he was deemed unfit to stand trial.
yeah.
And as it goes through, he's basically saying that he is Satan.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and everyone's like, yeah, sure, buddy. We hear that all the time here.
yeah.
But as the movie goes on, little things start to happen where you say, hang on,
Maybe he is
the
Satan. You know,
yeah.
and what he
And
turns out.
this is 80s Goldblum with the long hair like he had in The Fly, and just he's got he can get these looks where again immersing himself so much in the character,
Yeah, yeah,
and just to play this such this evil character, and he nails it as well. But
yeah,
it's it never really sort of rose to any sort of
yeah.
yeah. But it definitely one that I recommend. But yeah, Jurassic Park hit, and yeah,
Yeah. And he made it.
brilliant stuff.
But do you say these days there's almost like a making it to Marvel or DC? Is that when an actor gets to that? I've never spoken to this about anyone, but do you know like how actors make it to a superhero
Yeah,
movie? The
yeah,
Marvel or the DC, they just seem a bit special for doing that. Is that
yeah. It could
okay to
almost be, when you meet an actor. Okay, so what was your Marvel or DC movie? Which
yeah,
one
yeah.
were you in?
And I mean, look, there's thousands that haven't been there, but so many of the best
Mm,
ones now have been a superhero or been in a
mm.
series or of that either of those worlds or
Some
sometimes
in both.
yeah, yeah, some in both, a lot in both.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at Ryan Reynolds. Went from Green
Right.
Lantern to Deadpool.
But it
And
wasn't even Green Lantern he started on. Didn't he start on the first uh
yeah, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
was he an X-Men or hang on.
Yeah,
Oh, hang on. No, his first one was Fantastic Four. Wasn't he in
no, that's
Oh
Chris
no.
Evans.
Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Yep, yep,
Ah,
yep. So,
well,
but you know what he was on? He was in Blade 3.
yeah, Blade Trinity
Is that the first
playing.
one? Is that
Eh,
the first?
Actually, yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's at least three different comic franchises
Yeah.
that he's
Yeah.
been in.
Yeah.
Um, that's getting up there. There's not too many that have been in that many,
Yep.
but there was an actor. I think the first one that he did was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is
Yep.
based on a graphic novel.
Who?
He
Who?
played the invisible.
Who?
The guy played the Invisible Man in that
Oh,
one.
yep. Yep.
Um,
With the Pommy accent, you know?
well, he's Scottish, the actor.
Oh, okay. So he
Uh,
changed his accent for it.
yeah, and he's been in a fair few comic movies as well. He was in Blade 2.
Yep.
Um, he was the one that got half his head sort of sliced off when he got bitten by one of the Reavers.
Oh, yep. Yep.
He was also in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
Yep.
and he was also in X-Men First Class.
Oh, yep. Yep. Yep.
Very briefly, Tony Curran is his name.
Yep.
He was one of the agents when Sebastian Shaw came to the CIA compound.
Oh, yep.
And I think he's been in the Flash TV series
Oh, yep. Yep.
as well. So he's really
That
done
was
the
awesome.
gamut.
Wasn't that
Oh,
the best? And it
that
was
was
there were so many episodes. It just and
9 seasons.
9 seasons, but and it was quite early. It kind of was
Hmm.
before the superhero uh onslaught of so much, you know.
Yeah.
When did the Flash start? When did that
Well, the
start?
Flash was a spin-off series from Arrow.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, but being someone that loves the powers as well, and the Flash has always been one of my absolute favorite.
Arrow was good.
Uh,
It was good, but the Flash
bloody oath!
was next level because it was powers and yeah, it was good and it yeah, that I mean they're all good. They're all good. Anyway, yeah, so this
10 years
is
ago it started.
how many?
2014. 10
2014.
years ago, 2014, it kicked off.
Ah, I thought it was a long time before then.
Well, there was a Flash TV series in 1990.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking,
Yeah,
yeah,
that had was it John Wesley Shipp playing the Flash,
yeah,
who is actually playing Barry Allen, the Flash's father, in the new series.
that's right.
They kept a lot of things going,
Yeah,
and they had Mark Hamill in the original Flash series playing the Trickster
yeah.
with a very similar voice to the one that he eventually used for the Joker in the animated series.
Ah,
And they brought him back for the new Flash series, playing the exact same character.
yeah, nice, 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 nice. Yeah, so
Um,
well, we got onto this because of that show Chaos that you said.
yeah. So you asked me, what have I finished? What am I watching? And what am I looking forward to?
Yep.
Um, at the moment, I've because season 2 of The Rings of Power has recently dropped.
Yes. Yep.
So I started watching that one at the moment,
Yep.
and yeah, it's a movie in every episode really with the production value and everything like that. And I've
When
read Lord
when
of the
did
Rings.
when did the first season come out of that?
I think that was last. It would have been last year.
Yep.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah.
is that
So yeah,
I
it's
want to watch it too. I want to watch it too, and I've
mm,
started. Sorry, not started. I was about to start, and then I thought, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I thought, you know what? I can't really remember what happened in the first season, and
yeah,
not only that, I can't remember if I actually finished it because, like everyone, I don't finish every series
mm,
start. I mean, I try to, but sometimes you're watching two and one just takes you. Sometimes,
yeah.
you come back to it, and that's not having a go at any series. It's just
No,
sometimes it takes a
you get
couple of
distracted.
stabs. It's
Yeah,
like Pulp Fiction. It takes a couple of stabs with the syringe to the heart.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, I've had to come back and watch it again, series one, and I'm okay with that. And I'll tell you why, is because something I'm really sick of is this whole one episode coming out every week.
Uh, yeah.
Sick of it. Now, what was the first? Here's a good question for you. What was
Mm.
first series that you watched, I'm not talking about, TV where one episode came out every week like Game of Thrones and stuff, because that was,
Yeah,
that was all that was there. But, then came along, you know, your free your Netflixes and your this and that.
yeah, all the streamers.
And there was never any of that. There was never one episode every month. There was sorry,
Yeah,
one
when they
episode every
just
week.
dump, here's the whole season.
Yeah, and it was so good. Everybody loved it. But then,
Oh man,
then suddenly we were like, "Hey, on,
yeah,
you're only giving us one episode a week for 6 weeks
yeah.
or for 8 weeks.
I
This
don't.
sucks ass." You know?
Yeah, oh, well, once you've experienced the season dump, you can't go back from that.
And everybody has experienced the season dump.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I can't remember what was the first one that I watched where it was the season dump, but I remember the feeling.
yeah,
And I've always been a person that, I'd in the old days go out, get a season box DVD,
yeah.
and I'd, try and finish as much of the damn thing
That's
in
what it
one
was.
sitting.
The first season dump was the
Mm,
you bought, Lost or something on the DVDs. That was it.
mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
You got it all. Like,
yeah. And then, the streamers do it, and it's just like, this is just bloody great. And I don't even need to change a disc. I
yeah,
can just
yeah,
sit there and just let it
yeah.
wash over me.
It was even
And then,
better.
like you said, then just 1 year, you know what? Here's one.
Yeah,
Although for a lot of those early ones, they were smart enough. Here's 2 episodes, so you don't get too antsy and we
yeah,
don't get too many angry letters.
yeah.
Here's two to kick you off.
I
And
think
some have even done three.
I think the first kind of, you know, giving you one episode a month, the first one it was during COVID. It was during COVID that
Uh,
somebody thought of that. And it was Rick and Morty for me. Like,
ah,
and I just love Rick and Morty. And
yeah.
who wants to watch just one episode of Rick and Morty? No one.
Yeah,
You know what I
especially
mean?
an episode where it's only a half-hour episode as such.
I know
It gets
you're
you all
waiting
pumped
for
up,
it.
and then it's gone.
Yeah, I
And then you
know.
have to week. And you're twitching
Seriously.
like the junkie, like, come on, be the episode, baby.
Oh,
But
seriously.
no, you're white knuckling it through the week, trying to scrounge through anything
Yeah,
else that's like, oh, Angry Housewives. I can't give a crap about that, but I
yeah,
needed
yeah,
something to watch
yeah, 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 yeah.
until the next week hits. And then, or
And
you,
so my next question is, mate, why? Why do they do it?
yeah,
Like, I
the only thing I
understand
can
the
think
beauty.
of
Yep, yep, yep.
is they found some way to monetize the one episode a week. I don't know how, but or maybe they felt that if they just dump the season, they'll just watch it and nick off to another streaming service or something like that.
But
Um,
has it ever happened? Like, really? I mean, what people are doing, they're like, I'll just wait, which I'm sure you've done too. Like,
yeah,
look, I'm not going to put up with this once a week bullshit. I'm going to
no,
wait for 6 weeks and then start it and watch as much or as little as I want. It
yeah,
doesn't make you finish it any quicker, really, or
mm,
it just annoys everybody, you know?
yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's once you've had it, you can't go back,
Yeah.
and it it just. And then you tried it like you were saying. You tried to do. I'll just let them build up for a while so I can and smash
Yep.
through.
Yep.
And then you're trying to avoid any spoilers online.
Yep.
Which I know for myself, I'm on things like Facebook a lot more than you are yourself.
Yep.
So it's always as you're scrolling through, you start to when a new picture comes up and it starts to look like the heading for one of your shows. You're like, no, 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 quick, get that out of the way because you don't want any
Yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah.
And then every now and then you'll break
Yeah.
because people are talking about an episode, something special happened, and you
Yeah.
might watch one, and it's like, oh, and then waiting for the end of the season where I used to be complaining that why are we getting all these 8 or 15 episode seasons? What happened to the 22 to 24 episodes? But when you're waiting for the season to finish, you're quite thankful of, oh, there's only 11 episodes in this season, so it's not going to take that long.
Or even now,
Um,
like seasons, they're never that long anymore, are they? Like
Yeah.
seasons are getting shorter. Like a 6 season or 8 season is about all you get now, you know?
Well, it's, in the old days, the English TV shows were only ever sort of 6 or 7 episodes a season.
Yep.
But you still get the dramas, like, things like NCIS or what have you.
Yep.
They're still on the 22 to 24 episodes.
Yep.
But when you get things like, Game of Thrones, Rings of Power, um, each episode is, a lot more that a lot of the time it's longer than your standard TV episode.
Yep. Yep.
You essentially, with the production value and the time length, you're pretty much getting a movie every episode.
It is. It's a movie, isn't it?
Yeah. So
The amount of money they spend on it,
oh God, what was it? Some of them getting up to 20, 30 odd $1 million an episode or something.
For some reason, I
Uh,
was going to say this before. We were talking about the early '90s Flash series.
yeah.
I remember when they're advertising on TV, they were like spending $1 million every episode.
Yeah.
You remember that? That was their like.
Now that's just the paycheck for one of the actors.
Yeah. Now they spend that on a Google ad. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, if you ever want a shock to the system, look up how much the Super Bowl commercials cost,
Yep.
both in how much the production value is and how much it costs
Yeah.
for 20 to 30 seconds of time in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you could buy a nice island somewhere for
10 minutes, mate. 10 minutes.
ah,
Jeez,
good
time.
Lord.
So we did what have you watched?
Yep.
What are you watching? And we're both watching that one. But I'm starting again to watch the season before. Is that the best idea? I don't know. Am I better to watch, now you just YouTube it and you get a whole season in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you want.
Yeah. One thing I find that works for me is I'll watch the last episode of the previous season.
Yeah.
Normally they get a very comprehensive previously at the start of that episode. And then, all the big stuff's happening in that episode as well. So that, quite succinctly gets you all caught up, which I did on Rings of Power.
Do you know what our mate Rich does when he watches a series? Okay. So let's say he loves Cobra Kai. He watches the first and second episode. And then he watches the second and third episode. And then he watches the third and fourth episode.
So there's always a bit of overlap.
Fourth and fifth episode. Yeah. So he always watches the previous episode again before he watches the next one.
That sounds very much like, just watching a normal episode of Naruto where, a good third of the episode is what happened in the last episode. The last third is what's going to happen in the next episode. Yeah. And you get 5 minutes of new storyline in the middle.
Yep.
That always frustrated me. But
so, Rings of Power. You went straight in and you watched the final episode of season
one.
And is that one of those ones once a week? It is once a week? I didn't even know that.
No, this one, it's all there.
Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah. Why am I?
There's no rhyme or reason to anything anymore. It's pure chaos. Which was the previous show.
This actually makes you want to watch a series more. When you find that it's once a week, like, I know, if you're hooked, you're hooked. Okay?
Yeah.
You're hooked. But look, for example, right now what I'm watching is King of the Cross and I'm hooked.
Awesome.
I can't help it. I don't even know which day it comes out, but every day I go and check
is there one today?
Yeah, but my point is if I was at that moment, I was like, watch this one or watch this one. This one, it's all there. This one, it's going to drip feed you every week and drive you fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You're going to go for the full season. So there you go. So we got 7 minutes. We've done a show that you've watched, a show that you're watching. What are you looking forward to?
It's funny that you mention letting the series build up.
Yep.
Because there's one that I've been waiting for because it's something that's right up my alley.
Because of that reason, right? Because you don't.
Exactly.
I know. We can't be the only people in the
world. God, no. I'm sure there's there's whole servers full of subreddits on people whinging about this very thing.
Yep, yep.
But I
I mean,
watched.
binge
I
is
started watching.
called binge, right? That's why you
Exactly.
to binge. You don't get
Oh,
it to be drip. It's not called drip feed you one fucking episode a week. Is it called that?
my
It's
ass is
called
not
binge.
couch shaped to just watch.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's not what it's made for. But I started watching the first episode of oh, what was it again? Where's going? Yeah, Dark Matter.
Oh,
And
oh,
I got 5 minutes into it.
yeah,
I think at this point there was only about 2 or 3 episodes that had been released.
yeah.
I got about 5 minutes into it and said, I won't be able to take this one
Oh,
episode a week.
yeah.
I'm going to need
So this
to.
is a while ago. This is a while ago.
Yeah, so I watched 5 minutes of the first episode, said, no, I'm
Months
going to
ago.
wait for this.
Months ago. Months ago.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And I've just been waiting to get around to, you know, just plowing through that because I think there's only 8 or 12 episodes
Yep.
in that series.
Yep.
Uh, and yeah, so that's going to be the next one.
Well, I've seen it, and
Yeah.
without, I think I told you, yeah. And I just kind of saw the picture, and I liked it. What's his name? The actor Joel
Joel Edgerton.
Edgerton. I don't know how I'd say.
Yeah.
I rarely something like that can be so scary. Do you know what I
No.
mean? Something like that can be so scary. And there's a guy at work. I do say this comment quite a lot. I didn't see this, but he told me, my mate at work, his name's Tommy. Shout out to Tommy. He told me he was watching a mass murderer, right, or a
All
murderer,
right.
and and he said something like, "Look, I'm a murderer and you're not, and the only reason I am a murderer is because you haven't met the right person yet." And I find that really quite scary. But in this that line, that
Yeah.
line rung around my head as I was watching this show, Dark
Right.
Matter. You know, so tell me if that, like, if you we are who we are, not because
Mm.
of, you got the nature nurture thing, that with different types of nurture, we can be bloody anyone. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. I'm not
Well,
saying we're all
if you can
murderers.
say it for,
Yeah. I'm not saying
I
we're
mean,
all
if you can have the
murderers.
line for, you know, we've had that sort of line for love,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, I don't believe in this or that, and then you meet the right person and you fall head over heels.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Why shouldn't the pretty much opposite be true as well?
Exactly. Because
And it's
it,
a great line of the Jokers as well. The only difference between me and everyone else is just one bad day.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So just one event coming together a certain way, be it meeting someone or what have
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
everything changes.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. I'm really keen. So have you started Dark Matter yet?
No, it's going to be. I'll probably get into that this week.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm very excited to Topia that. Let's Topia the hell out.
Oh man.
Topia the hell out.
Also, I think with some of these ones, you need to be in the right mind frame as well.
Yeah. I
Everything
really,
coming together, and I can feel it. It's calling out to me.
yep. 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 Definitely. Definitely.
I might even jump onto it tonight.
Oh yeah, do it. Do it tonight. Do it tonight. Do it tonight.
Done.
Um, so what? I plan to kind of me do it, but as well. So I guess I'll do it right now. It was one I've watched is Dark Matter. There you go.
Yep.
Recently, maybe finished it a month or so ago, and
Right.
it was one of those ones where I just kind of go upstairs and just think about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
And
love stuff like that.
and scary. I'm not talking
Right.
about like The Fly 1985 scary. I'm just talking
Mm.
about holy
Deep existential dread.
shit. This is fucking scary. This is really
Yeah.
scary, I'm not going to tell you who is the villain or why, but scary ass fucking shit.
Awesome.
10 out of 10 scary.
Awesome.
Something I'm
Just what I
watching.
love to watch before going to bed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what I mean. I actually I've told you this, I think. Well, maybe
Yeah.
But that you get up, you take a piss at night. Unfortunately, my bladder's as weak as piss. But you get up and take a piss, and when you've seen a horror movie and it's just like you're a bit
Yeah.
freaked out. Like I
Well, I
like
think
it. Yeah, I
well,
do like it. I do like it. Yeah. Um.
no feet coming out of the bed that night.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So, movie something I'm watching at the moment, King of the Cross, as I've said, such
Yeah.
I'm just loving it, and it's just nostalgia, mate.
I wish Pinocchio's was still there.
Oh, I wish, yeah. And but like they were in that cafe in King's Cross. Um, I can't remember the name of the cafe, but we did used to go there. We just, would be drinking and smashing it and drunk as all hell. And we'd go into this cafe right in King's Cross, and you just knew that all the crims in the whole city were there. Like, and there was
Yeah.
this area at the back of this cafe where you just knew that you weren't allowed to go there. Like
Yeah. No
nobody
rope or anything, just
it's like that area we're not allowed to go to. And nobody kind of,
yeah.
I don't know, maybe they did talk about it. I can't remember, but that cafe was in it. I wish I could remember the name of that cafe. And
Oh,
something I'm looking forward to watching. Well, I guess what you just talked about, I'm going to have to watch that. Chaos. Chaos.
yeah. Definitely recommend it.
Mate, we're back. Topia
We
is.
can't stop now.
I can't stop now. This is seriously.